whenever I got started in SEO before, basically I had one client, he loved me so much. We were doing web design, doing SEO. He loved me. He's like, oh, I want to hire you full time. I say, sure, whatever. Hires me full time. Then after that, he goes, and by the way, every one of your clients, I want 50% of. No. So that didn't last too long. Let me put it that way. And then whenever I got this other, this other client, which is Renee, the doctor, um, I'd never met someone like him. He would actually bring clients to me and say, hey, they need a website. Hey, they need SEO. And these are other doctors. So that's how I got involved in the doctor field with him, because he just would not, he wasn't greedy. He would constantly just, I mean, it was amazing. But then on top of it, this is what I tell people when it comes to jobs. I know this isn't about business advice or whatever, but I always looked at my jobs as stepping stones. I never looked at them as this is my final destination. And when I was there, I probably every 2 months I got a raise. Most people came to me to ask the doctor stuff because they thought I was like his pet, his teacher's pet, and I wasn't. It was just, for instance, I made him money. I came up with ideas that helped. We took that facility from, let's say, 3,000 square feet to over 20,000 square feet. We were the only competition when it came against the top 4 hospitals, and we beat every one of them with their $1 million budgets in marketing and stuff. And we did all types of stuff together, and partnerships and all types of craziness where me and him would just, he'd always start conversations and meeting with us. He says, like, listen, Paul, I'm going to try this wild and crazy idea. Just hear me out. And it would always be, I mean, it would truly be wild and crazy every time. But most of the time, me and him would come up with stuff. It would work. Very rarely, it would not work. So let me admit these other couple in here today. As you know, is Ask Me Anything Fridays. Y'all could pretty much ask anything you want. Personal,
they all love
personal, not personal, whatever, doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you raise your hand. Make sure you stay muted, because even though it's Friday, people will get upset. Don't ruin their Fridays. Give me a second. Yes, on WordPress. And next, I got to send out the email. Most of y'all aren't, most everybody's not in here, won't hear it, but I'm actually doing a partnership slash or meeting or podcast with Craig Campbell. Craig Campbell is like the #1 SEO guy in all of SEO. In my opinion, I couldn't say anyone's above him in my, just from what I've seen. We'll be doing either a show in the morning. It will actually be on East Coast morning time. So I'm going to see if we can do it. If we're going to do that, I'm going to send out an email, let everybody know. And then we'll have to do either 1 or 2 sessions that day. That day it would be either I'm going to switch out the regular evening session for a morning session, or I'll still do the evening session and do an additional morning session that will be just with Craig Campbell. And basically, we're going to talk about things that help move the needle when it comes to, local SEO. And his specialty, of course, is black hat. So that's what he's known for. So give me 1 second. But any questions, Marcin? If you have any audits, anything that y'all been sending me through the week, y'all want me to do on Ask Me Anything Friday, I'll do those too. Don't be shy. Also, one of the other students, so he said, imagine if we took Brock's schema markup and combine that with our local pages. I told him I'm actually in the process of making a SOP for it to simplify it. That way everybody sees because I could break it down and tell you exactly how to do it without complicating it now that I've actually have his code. But I'm going to be doing that, and we'll be doing another lesson on that. Go ahead, Sean.
Just a quick question. Now that I'm on all this, I've just been researching like crazy the cannabis stores. So I found a few of them that are doing with the city in it. And that's against the terms and conditions because they're not. I went and checked their license, and that city name is not in their licensed name.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be going against it, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect. And then I found 3 fake ones. So I just wanted to make sure that that's good before I can move forward. Because the client is a lawyer, and her husband's the one opening the cannabis store.
Mm.
So
yeah, he better be very careful with what he does as a lawyer. So mine was a doctor. So doctors, lawyers, real estate, they're very, 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 very picky when it comes to what they can and cannot market. Yeah, I'll do that one for you, Lou. Let me get in. I'll answer this question for you in a second. Paul, go ahead.
Question. I set up a new website in WordPress using Elementor Pro. I just have to do a quick, fast, down and dirty landing page for a guy. I got to have it ready for tomorrow morning. Where do you grab just a template, or like this is just a single page website?
We don't.
How do I quickly set that up?
We just don't. Most of our stuff, I mean, you really don't have to. That's why I was going to teach the web design, because the only template you'll need, I'll give y'all, it's basically just a header, footer, body. Once I have that, if you go, okay, I got a header, I got text, I could drag and drop and do that. And if you gave me the content, give me 30 minutes and I can have it done. I mean, it's not that hard. Most of the time it's like, what colors do you want? You want, orange and blue, or you don't give a shit. We just, I mean, it's not that hard really. Once you have, and we use Astra, I'm going to break down in that class. I'll break down. Basically, we use Elementor Builder. We use Astra Theme, right? We upload all the pro plugins, all that jazz. And then once we do that, I mean, literally, it's give me 3 sites you like, Paul, about landscaping or whatever. What aspects do you like about each one of them? And then we take aspects of each one and make your own. That's it. It's not, I mean, we don't ever, unless someone absolutely comes to me and says, hey, I want a template, I will never use a template, mainly because of the fact they're bloated with code. So, all right, Travis Brandy, do you post your website blocks to Facebook? If so, does it help move the needle for SEO very much? Does frequency of posting to Facebook make a difference? I would say yes. Your social footprint is how many social posts do you have? How many people like it? How many people are sharing it? So the only way to get likes and shares is what? Post good content. So I'm not going to just tell you post content every day. You got to post good content. What's good content? Funny, amusing, something people could laugh at, but also learn from. There are things in different industries that move, get a lot more attention, which is going to be like infographics. Things that are informative, but also like one of my old teachers used to tell me he'd get people to laugh first so he could shove as much information in their brain before they shut down. So what you kind of got to do is you got to do an interrupt, or what they, in NLP, what they call neurolinguistic programming. You do an interrupt so you can get all that information in there before they get pissed off or get annoyed with you, and then they shut down and then they don't want to hear nothing you got to say. So, I would tell you, make things funny. When I used to do lives prior to being banned and stuff, and now I'm just kind of trying to build it back up. But I'd get on and do a live and say, hey, this is a Facebook rant. And I just tell you what pissed me off, or here's some business advice. One of which is never let a web design company own your hosting. It's a dumbass mistake. I offer it if they want it. But I always advise them, say, hey, would you let me register your LLC? Nope. Then why would you let me buy your domain name and hosting this? You know, or life advice, you know, I gave one before, be like, how did we get where we're at? I'll have to do another one because that Facebook account was shut down. But most people see where we're at. And I'm like, you didn't see, I did this for 20 years where we were barely making squat, you know, and it took a lot of, you know, just pain and suffering. And then on top of it, a lot of mistakes to get where I'm even at today. Yeah, I'll do that audit. If I put the map in a website, shall I put it as a whole at the bottom of each separate area or separate area on its own? Can you explain this? What do you mean?
If you see, I have a map underneath, and I have 5 areas that I have created individually if you open the map. So my question is, and I have named them, one is East Charlotte, West Charlotte, North Charlotte, Uptown Charlotte. And my question is, if I put it at the bottom of each service area page, shall I put the map as I have it, or shall I have each
I'd
one
have to see it because that's still not clear to me.
It's the link that I have underneath. Sorry for my English.
No, no, it's okay. I just,
So each one I drew it, and it's individually, and I can delete the other one, and I can leave like
yeah,
certain areas.
I see what you're
not as a
leaving.
whole.
I wouldn't do it that way. Just me. When you do this, I'm actually going to be doing something similar to this on another class too. So, where we're talking about map stacking, where I show you how to create an actual map stack that works. But you see all those pretty little things on Fiverr with all those little dots and driving directions and all that stuff that everybody says, oh, it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work when you don't use it the way you don't stack it with other things. It doesn't work. When you stack it with other things, it still gives you some juice to move the needle. I would personally do it separate. I don't do them like this is all I'm going to say. I mean, let me see do you have your keywords mentioned in here for each area? For example, you could put, let's say, what is this, a plumber? Or no, this is a scoliosis. So, scoliosis doctor, East Charlotte. Scoliosis doctor, Uptown Charlotte. Scoliosis doctor, South Charlotte. Scoliosis doctor, West Charlotte. Scoliosis doctor, North Charlotte. And then you have driving directions and you have all the pins and everything else. But that's just me. But
But as
it stands, no, I wouldn't use it the way you posted it. That's just something. And I would never post that on my website ever. I don't post those on my website anytime I do them. They go in your G Stack and your Google Stack and your Google Drive, stuff like that, but nowhere else. You understand? Okay. Let's see. So let everybody else in. All right. So if you want to do an audit, it's not necessarily I want to do an audit, Lou. Curious about this one. You're curious about this website. So let's go ahead and go to that website.
Yeah, I mean,
So
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to do some, service pages. I think I did it, but
Rank and rent.
Of course, man. I don't do this.
I can look at these sites every time I've been around them so much. I'm like, rank and rent. I can look at it and tell it's a rank and rent. It's like, do ranking rent guys? I mean, just out of curiosity, I'm nothing against ranking rent guys. Do y'all have like one specific form that y'all use? One specific, because I never got involved, and I'm asking out of all curiosity. I never started in rank and rent, but every time I see a rank and rent website, it seems like they use consistently the same form and consistently the same either the same setup or a template.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I'm not asking sarcastically. I'm asking curiously because when I got started, I didn't even know about touch rank and rent to a couple of years ago. And this year when I really hit it, it
Right.
seems like every one of them are kind of like the same template, same form, stuff like that.
Well, we have one guy in our group who does the websites pretty cheap too, like $250 a pop. So I like to use him to kind of get it up, so to speak, and then build more from there. But with snaps, there's a lot of templates in there that's really nice. Like I'll send you over a painting site I built.
Yeah, that's like Dutta, because I looked at Dutta and I was like, I
Yeah.
would love to use Dutta. I said, but the problem is they are templates, and for me, it's like, yeah, I could change the color and stuff like that, but I can't really change. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to look like a template per se. That's the biggest problem with me. So this
Yeah,
is
I mean,
this isn't WordPress for one, but we'll go through it.
Well-
I just was curious. I figured y'all probably had somebody or something, or maybe someone taught a course and they gave everybody a template.
Yeah, I mean, with Rank and Red, as you know, I mean, a big part of it is just getting more shoes on the shelf, as we say. So
Yeah, and most people, if you look at rank and rents, I actually prefer the rank and rents because they actually have content. You know, the biggest one is like on the biggest dead giveaway besides the form is always how much content you got on the homepage, and I can usually get rank and rent.
yeah,
When
there's some guys
when
that-
someone knows, hey, keep the call button, like I'll show you. I'm just look at it. When I go to the site and I go, okay, he's got a call button and it's a sticky menu and he's got the call to actions everywhere you go. Yeah, he's probably a rank and rent. Then you got this stuff starting to be set up. Then this down here. Then if you had nearby me, it's even more of a dead giveaway. You have an error down here in your code, by the way.
Yeah, that was that Divi code that was supposed to make all the images the same size.
Same size. Yeah, you can't use Divi code on a non-Divi website. Just FYI. Not in my opinion, unless it's just straight CSS and you know how to do it. And it's in a builder. This is in regular straight HTML. If you look on the back end of it, this is why I don't use regular HTML. This is not, it's not clean.
Right.
I could show you like, let me give you one that we're building right now. So y'all want to see how many websites I actually have in process, just FYI, it's like insane. So let's go to this one. This is code. This is Elementor per se, and it's just stacked. You see how it's stacked? It's not a whole lot of white gaps and stuff like that. It's a lot cleaner. But basically, whenever I could literally in the WordPress website, I can give you a site per se that basically has a header. This is the header, has this area, has a body area, has a footer, and literally once you know the building blocks, you can literally just go in there and change out the body area, and it takes you, 30 minutes and you should be done. As long as you have the content, you can have a website done in a day. So as far as the CRO of the website, if you're unmuted, I keep getting there. We go. Mute yourself. Call to action button. And pull it over here. So he's unmuted. Mute yourself. Mute yourself or get kicked out. One of the two. Because angry old men. So you got the call to action button. It follows you. I don't see a phone number up here, which I would like to see. I don't see an address up here. If you actually have a GMB address, I would like to see. You don't have any social icons up here, which I would like to see. Social icons are not a must, but at least your phone number, address. At minimum, always have this, which I like it because it's the bright red button pops out. You have your you have your H1 header here, which is great. You have your main keyword, main location, Alexandria. I believe that's in Alexandria, Virginia. Yep. You have it once again mentioned here. You have your form over here. Let's see what you're naming, if you will, your images. Nope, not properly named. From what I see, at least. Let's see what you named them when you upload them. Yeah, this is why I don't do multi-sites. Oh, it's just gobbledygook when it uploads it. But overall, as far as content now, content-wise, you got tons of content, which is what I'd like to see on the homepage. You got plenty. About 1,500 words on the homepage. What I want to see. I don't necessarily believe in putting all this on the homepage. I would put this on an actual services or areas we service page and create a map, and then have all these sub out to location pages. Just how I would do it. This I would put, this is good. I don't necessarily would put it there, but that's just me. I'd want to put it under maybe the call us button. Make this click to call button bright red, not white, so you can actually see it. Yep. That's, definitely a giveaway. It's a rank and rent. You have this button down here. Don't click to anything. So you need to fix that. Their Facebook button. So let's see about your service pages. Let's go to them. So service pages, you have your interlinking going on, which is cool. If you're unmuted, please mute yourself. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, you got a decent amount of content. It's not like, it's about 500, I would say. That's about what I want, 500 to 700-ish. You have your buttons that follow you, like always, like you should have. We go over to your other service pages just to see if you got the interlinking on all of them, which you do, which is great. I would do some of the linking like I showed y'all yesterday in regards to some authority sites, Wikipedia, textual content sites as well. About us, let's go there. I understand it's a generic photo because it's a generic. This goes to your contact us page. So you got your interlinking there. Let's go to contact us. You do have a GMB there, which is cool. You got your interlinking there. You don't have necessarily a phone number here. I would put that on my home page. You have your GMB there, which is cool as well. Service areas, let's go to there.
William, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
If I have a new business and I'm doing their website, you said that it's better if we first create all the other social media and leave the GMB for last.
Yep, I'll leave it for last.
And when shall I publish it in the page? How many days shall I launch it first?
Personally, I get you're talking about my tier 1 citations, tier 2 citations. I get all that stuff done first before I even think about doing my GMB. So once I get that done, then I'll do my GMB, not until then.
Okay, so you leave it, you launch the website, and then you add the GMB after, like whenever you do that.
As soon as I do citations, I can get citations done within a week, but I won't do it before 2 weeks if it's a brand new GMB, brand new site, stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you got your services in here. This almost looks familiar, but so then you got your location set up. This is where I would put what I was showing you earlier. I just put them on your location pages. And specifically though, I would not, if I look at these service areas, I'd want this just to be Arlington. I don't know enough about Arlington, but I'm pretty sure Arlington, because when I was in there, because I used to live there, I would not put all this in here. My stack, as always, only includes areas inside of Arlington If this is inside Arlington, great, but I doubt it because I used to live in this area.
So you're building out all these neighborhoods too?
Yes, sir.
Like another page, like you're linking another page to, for example,
No.
courthouse?
Nope. So, for example, inside of Arlington, there's various other areas inside Arlington. Like, let's say there's another nearby city or whatever, you know, something that's nearby Arlington. Then underneath of it, we have the Arlington neighborhoods, which is what we do with what you do, which is we link them over to the GMaps. Now, the other areas surrounding Arlington, yeah, they each get their own pages. You'll see that when we set it up. But these right here, these are Fairfax cities, London County. None of these are actually in Arlington. You understand what I'm saying? So if I go up here and I go Arlington, Virginia, areas. And if this Zoom shuts me down, then I'm going to start on another one. I think I know why it's doing that now, Paul. So this gives you your neighborhoods, of course, but this is Arlington County or Arlington. You only want the areas around Arlington. You don't want to get all these other areas like this because these are all separate areas altogether. Now, if you're going to make pages for all these, yes, but then put them under Fairfax and only on Fairfax. Whatever's on London County, only put on London County page. Like this Arlington should only have Arlington related stuff. Like none of this, 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 just Arlington. All right. And then Arlington is a home to this. I love this. You have the government, the high DA type sites. And then you have your Arlington neighborhoods. And then you have your Arlington map. Right. Then you got, you know, this right here links over to all your, you know, these service pages. You can leave that there. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and run an actual technical SEO audit. The cool thing though about HTML is when you run these audits, most of the time they actually don't have a whole lot of errors, which is really cool. Sometimes you'll get these WordPress sites, especially WooCommerce sites, and they're like, oh my God, I got like 50,000 errors. I got to fix this. It's going to take me a month, you know, so let's see here.
I can say like the GMBs definitely started spreading once I added all those kind of service pages.
I had a lady, I forget, Robbie or one of the other ladies in the class, she sent me her previous map, and it's not like, you know, completely green. It's not even 50% green, but she was no green except right on top of her spot. And all she's done is started doing my GMB posts with the links in there so far, not even the neighborhood pages yet. And she's starting to spread out green. And I was like, and this right here is why we do it. You know, now I'm developing, Michael mentioned it, I'm developing a SOP for y'all guys and a template for the schema. I have Brock's, you know, max to the max schema, and I got to go in there and highlight everything and create a SOP for y'all. And then y'all can figure out if y'all want to take 4 hours of your time to do it yourself, or you want to pay someone else to do it. But we'll have a SOP for y'all. I'm working on that too. So let me run.
Hey,
this.
since you brought up Brock number 1, I'll call myself Brock number 2. I commented on his YouTube channel about like how to do this, and he does use a plugin on WordPress sites.
Yeah, you can use the plugin, but when you want to quote unquote max it out, I've asked him and he says you don't need to and you shouldn't.
That's interesting. Well, see, and that's what I thought I was going to get was like the manual way to put that in. And I was like, hey, I've got a WordPress site with Elementor.
Yeah, I asked them. There is a plugin. The plugin basically enables you to add code to your header or footer. That's the only plugin you use. It's not. Now if you go out and say, hey, I'm going to get the schema WordPress schema plugin. Yeah, it'll put in schema, but it's going to be garbage schema. It's not going to be.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be basically what's your business name, phone number, address, logo. That's it. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. It's just The plugin's just header, footer,
And
adder. I gotta go look again.
that's what we normally do is we just use the very basic schema because it takes a while. If you really want that installed, it's all your research. Yeah, all your research. And then I have 3 kids, so
No.
she might have a question. You never know.
I'm sure she has a very important SEO question.
She's laughing now.
Oh yeah, she's my mischievous one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. And then so you get 1,000. Let's look at this. 1,036 issues, most of which are info issues, so I'm not really too concerned about it. So you have a 400 status, which is probably related to 145 broken links that you have here. That's the biggest issue you have is these broken links. I'll look at these resources. You have no resources restricted from indexing, so everything indexes. You have 72 empty alt tags on your images, so you got to fix that. You got 2 empty meta descriptions, 4 duplicate titles. It would take me approximately a day or less to fix this. That's on that side of the audit. Now, if you go over to GT metrics, we'll run a GT metrics on it in Lighthouse. So we could take a look at that. Oh, like I said, if I lose you guys, I'm going to put you on, I'll send you another link, but hopefully we don't. Or that's just Zoom telling me I want more money. Let's see.
Please deposit a quarter to continue.
Yeah, because it happened that one time, and I'm on the pro plan. I'm not on a free plan. I'm on pro. I'm on like the maximum plan you can get on.
I think they sent you down to the minor leagues, man. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Well, and here's another reason HTML is pretty cool too, unless because I know you're not using my plugin. Your GT metrics is an A. Because you're not using all that fancy smancy stuff. It's just pretty much a rank and rents most of the time are just, this is the bare bones. I just want to rank this thing and get paid. It's not like I want to throw some videos on here or nothing like that. We're just doing this to get ranked. So that's cool too. And then have you checked to see if you're actually ranking at all for any of the terms or no?
Yeah. I am. I mean, the site does pretty well. And this is without even the, I really just wanted to see what you thought of the service areas. Cause that's,
the service
every day I go and
I would set it up different is like the service areas. I would keep everything Arlington related only on Arlington and everything related to Fairfax only on Fairfax, everything on Montgomery only on Montgomery. Like how you have it set up is cool. It's just, I would take these areas right here and this would only be on like Fairfax, and then all of this would be Fairfax things to do. You need to add all that in there too. Places to go, cool articles, and I know there's some cool places to go near West, near Virginia and that part of the area too. So King's Court or whatever it's called, diner where you see the knights fighting in front of you while you're having your steak and all that craziness. And then have PG, only have PG, Montgomery, only Montgomery, because you don't want to confuse anybody. That's just how I do it, how it works for me. So, and then just fix, once you can fix this and get any other broken links. The cool thing about this audit report, if I wanted to see the details of where your broken links are at, if you want this, just let me know and email me and I'll send it to you. It shows you where your errors are at. Right, external links, which are cool. I ignore that, even though they say you're being a bad boy and you don't need external links. You do, because it brings in some authority and proximity signals. But if you go down, you can go down through this entire report and it will tell you everywhere your empty alt text is at. And this is what happens a lot of times when you're using a CDN, a content delivery network. You could update these. You can update these alt tags on the actual website, but because the old ones are stored in your CDN, it will still pull from the CDN unless you clear your cache. It's another real good reason why I like that Nitro Pack plugin, because I don't have to deal with that issue. And here's all your broken links. It's telling you can't find this, Burke County, Shantley County. I'm wondering, did you create the pages using a plugin, or did you? Nope, they're definitely broken.
No, because they were originally called Chantilly, and then I changed it to Stamp Concrete Company Chantilly, and didn't do a redirect.
Yeah,
there was
you either got to do redirects, or if you had this in WordPress, you could use a plugin to do the 404 redirect for you and then fix it. There's a plugin I use for all of it. See, it tells you where everything is at, so you can go in here and just fix it. This doesn't have this is a duplicate meta description, and you can go in here and just fix it. You can literally, if you had this open in WordPress, you just click on the page, hit edit, and then go in there and edit it. You understand? And the plugin for WordPress, it's just 404.